Dr. Charkoudian.
I'd like to introduce to you my father, Peter Vilazikan, who's a survivor of the genocide. I would like to thank for my father, myself, and all of us here, the Human Rights Commission and Mayor Cohen for taking the courageous stand that they have taken. Ask them to continue to take that stand, to stand for the rights of all of us, not just Armenians, but all people who have suffered genocide.
My name is Henry Terrio. I'm a professor at Worcester State College, and I teach on genocide and human rights issues, as well as being on the advisory council of the International Association of Genocide Scholars. Can you hear me? And being co-editor of Genocide Studies and Prevention, a journal in the academic field. One of the things that's so disturbing about what's going on with the denial by the ADL, the history of denial, is this isn't the Turkish government that's doing this. The Turkish government has engaged in this kind of denial for many, many years, and unfortunately it's become expected. I wish it weren't that way. The ADL, however, is very different from a cynical government covering up a past crime. It is one of the most respected human rights, civil rights, racial rights organizations in the world, and it has been trading on that respect, which is so richly deserved for so many great things it's done in history, to turn around and not just deny Armenian history, but really to engage in hate speech, which is what genocide denial is, and to engage in political lobbying, turn itself into a lobby arm of the Turkish government in order to have political impact on Armenians' quest for long-term justice, long-term recognition. I also understand that the ADL is looking into itself, but the reality is that that great trust that it has so richly deserved has been eroded by this horrible hypocrisy. And for me personally, the only way I can come to trust the ADL again, at the national level especially, is that they're willing right now to change their position unequivocally. And until that happens, I just don't have the trust to wait until November and maybe later and later and later. Again, I appreciate your time.
If it wasn't for the Turkish people, every Armenian would have been killed. There wouldn't have been a single Armenian left. But the Turkish people hired many, many Armenians to save them from being murdered.
My name is Salfi Sarakian, and I live at 130 Dickerman Road in Newton Highlands. And I just had a couple of things to say. The first thing, louder? Oh, sorry. The first thing is that there is no such thing as degree of genocide. There is either genocide or there is no genocide. And the ADL has gotten up in the past and spoken with absolute clarity and absolute language against what's going on in Sudan, what's gone on in Bosnia, what's gone on in other parts of the world, what's happened in Afghanistan. And they really need to step up now and speak with the same sort of absolute language in support of the Armenian Genocide Resolution and what's going on with the Armenian Genocide. The fact that they haven't done it, and that they haven't done it for so long, leads me to agree with Professor Theriault that my trust is eroded. Newton as a community doesn't need the ADL in this No Place for Hate campaign. Newton is a diverse community. Newton has a tolerance for other cultures and other people. It's a great program, but Newton can do it on its own. I'd like to urge a lifelong resident of Newton that the Human Rights Commission take the vote tonight and sever ties with the ADL, because it has to be done. The only way the national ADL is going to get the point that what they did was wrong and they need to change their position is if you sever ties tonight. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Lori Gans, and I am also a representative of the Anti-Defamation League here in Newton. I'm a resident of Newton, and I am also a member of our National Commission. And to respond to the last speaker, I want to say that there is absolutely no question that your message and the messages that have been spoken so articulately and eloquently tonight is going to be brought forth. And this has, with no regard to severing ties or not, the impact of severing ties, however, will cut off so much of the power of what we in New England have to say when we bring this message forth to the National Commission. The idea that the National Commission should make this change today is simply logistically impossible. If you truly wish to seek change in ADL's position, we ask you, in the spirit of what No Place for Hate has been, and the hallmark of what No Place for Hate has been, in coalition building, we ask you to be our partners in making change. Empower us, inform us as we bring this case to national, and don't leave us hanging out in the cold for the difficult stance that we have taken. Don't leave us alone now to fight this battle. Be our partners and be there to support us while we do this so that we can be the partners that you asked us to be.
My name is David Appel, and I've been a resident in Newton for 15 years. I am also a national commissioner. I've been involved in ADL for 12 years, and until this story broke in Watertown, I had no idea about the national stance ADL took on the Armenian genocide. This program is for the students, the parents, and the kids in the Newton community. Why should we sever that now? Okay, give us time to November to vote on this.
My name is Bear Jalolian. I'm from Cambridge, Massachusetts. We were and continue to be offended by the statements made by Mahmoud Ahmadinejad, president of Iran, who has publicly denied the Holocaust. We are similarly offended by the decision of Abraham Foxman's ADL to not ask the Turkish government to acknowledge the Armenian genocide. I asked the ADL board members, had this been a Holocaust denial case, would you wait 60 seconds to sever links? Would you do that? Or would you... We cannot help but ask, had the world community used its full energy and resources to speak out against the Armenian genocide, might the Holocaust have been prevented? You all know, in the Holocaust Museum in Washington, D.C., you will see the statement that says, "Who now remembers the annihilation of the Armenians by Adolf Hitler?" This is the statement he made to his commanders in order to put them at ease before he set out on the eve of World War II to destroy the European Jewry and invade Poland. I just want to remind you about that. It's time to act now. It's time to sever links with the ADL, send a strong message that this is not acceptable. The ADL hails United Nations passage of resolution establishing Holocaust Memorial Day. The ADL urges Massachusetts State House to take a stand against genocide in Darfur. So the ADL does take positions. Congress does pass resolutions in Congress commemorating genocides and Holocaust days. But when it comes to the Armenian genocide, those who are, what? This is a political issue, is that what you say? Political issue? Is the Darfur a political issue? Was the Holocaust Memorial Day that was passed in the United Nations last year a political issue? Citizens should not come to the Human Rights Board and ask them to sever links. They should do it on their own.
The ADL should be speaking with absolute moral clarity. I will repeat, absolute moral clarity when it comes to genocide, not playing perverse political games to appease a foreign government in its 92-year-old genocide denial campaign. This city should not tarnish its own reputation by being associated with an organization whose leadership is continuously engaged in genocide denial and cover-up. This city should never adopt or mimic the morally corrupt policies of the ADL by selectively choosing, I'm almost done, which hate crimes merit immediate action and condemnation and which do not. Just as denial of the Jewish Holocaust merits prompt action and condemnation, so should denial of the Armenian genocide deserve the same immediate response. Rabbi Hillel said it best, if I am not here for myself, then who will be for me, and if not now, when? Thank you.